my work is titled Prayer Beads, Istanbul and New York City. And I just want to tell you the title describes what you're seeing, and describes the installation that took place in two different cities. But I think that the piece is more about energy and movement rather than its titles. And chances are you wouldn't recognize these as prayer beads unless you had a set of your own, either a rosary or an Islamic set of prayer beads. But this represents the tassel. These are done by, I took photographs of the original piece and then broke the photographs up into sections and pieces and then reassembled them into something that sort of represented my hope, because each of these pieces has two locations in it. The wood door is the Istanbul location, and this background is the Chelsea location. And I actually worked this into the prayer beads in Chelsea into a piece by Swoon that was done post 9/11. And the piece had writing on it that said something like, "Every time I look up, I hear the sound of airplanes." So people in New York were very frightened. And I left these prayer beads. The original Swoon was actually a woman. Her arm was like this, and she was looking up, and there was a text here, and there was a folded airplane in her piece. And so I worked my prayer beads around her hand as if to say, you know, what do we really have but to hope for the best and to consider ourselves one humanity rather than two opposing cultures. And then when I went to Istanbul after I did this piece, I wanted to leave something for the people in Istanbul, and not the people who go into galleries, because I'm not interested in work really being in galleries, which is why it's so funny that it's ended up here. But the real work was on the street. The real work broke down, blew away, disappeared, and washed off the walls. The paper that I'm using is the most incredible Epson paper called Velvet. It's very thick. And like I said, if you were to touch this, which of course we're never supposed to, but I can touch it, I guess, you would find these little edges. There's an edge along here. So I photographed both pieces very carefully, and then I took them through Photoshop in a way that I kind of exaggerated and pulled colors up, dropped colors back. And then I took those pieces and tore them up. Now, the thing about this paper that's so remarkable, if you tear one way, you get an edge like this. And if you tear another way, front to back, you'll get this beautiful white line. So I used the white line, or the absence of the white line, as a way of kind of building a structure into what looks like an extremely chaotic field. Something like this horizontal, this vertical is going to ground it. This horizontal from Istanbul, this vertical is going to ground it. So the paper is so beautiful to work with. It's not the paper I put on the street. It's too heavy to put on the street. I use a thinner, lighter paper.